People sabotage their own happiness. So I'm working with patients. It's going on a long time now, 40 years, right? And today it's just frustrating. Every patient I spoke to did one of the following 13 things. This is no research off the internet. This is my own real experience. So I'm talking to a woman in Gainesville this morning. I'm not doing well. I'm really depressed. And I'm like, what's going on? She's on, all these meds, Zymbolta, Wellbutrin, and she takes a little Rexulti, and it's always worked. And so I said to her, what's going on? Oh, I'm really depressed. And I said to her, let's call her Jane. I said, Jane, are you drinking again? Well, I'm drinking a bottle of wine a night. So I said, is that every night? She said, every night. And he says, sometimes I have 2 bottles. So, here we have a 140-pound woman. She's drinking 1 bottle, sometimes 2 bottles a night, every night. She never misses. Well, you know what you're going to get from that? Depressed, anxious, can't think straight, gain weight, look terrible, eat the wrong foods, mess your house up, mess your budget up. I'm like, the meds don't work if you drink them. Antidepressants don't work. To boot, she was also taking a little Klonopin, which is a benzodiazepine, which interacts with the alcohol. I said, you could kill yourself like that. Don't do that. Oh, I know. I mean, here's where she's sabotaging herself. She said, what can you do besides stopping the drinking? I'm like, come on, Jane, really? We got to stop the alcohol. That was like my first session. Everything's like on telemedicine now because everyone's afraid of COVID. Then I have someone else. He's 23-year-old guy from Loxahatchee. And I'm like, well, what's going on? I have no energy. I don't want to do anything, blah, blah, blah. I said, you're still home, not working? I said, I'm sympathetic. COVID's kind of rough, but you're still not doing anything? What's up? Well, I'm getting that unemployment check. I said, come on. You were a top-notch waiter. He really did well. Some waiters make a little. He was a /waiter bartender making $2,000 a week. Come on, the guy was, on a good night, he could bring in $500. So I'm like, what's going on? Well, I'm living at my father's. I said, you're smoking marijuana again, aren't you? And so all you do is talk about doing things. You don't want to do anything, blah, This is your problem. You have no energy. You wake up. You're foggy. I'm not a holy roller. Marijuana is not evil. I'm not saying it is. But a side effect of that particular drug is you don't do anything. You don't get anything done. So he's sabotaging himself, and it also makes him depressed and lethargic and apathetic. So then I have a priest come in. And I'm like, well, what's going on? You don't look so good. I didn't want to tell him. I said, you look like you gained like 30 pounds. He hadn't been in like 5 months, and he was supposed to follow up every 3 months. And I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, he's a good man. He's a good man. I'm not saying this is a bad man, but wait to hear what he's doing. As I said to him, well, what's going on? Then I finally came out with it. I said, you look like you gained a little weight. He goes, well, I've been gaining a little weight. And a little? I said, well, we're going to check you for diabetes. I'm pretty sure something's wrong. And he was huffing and puffing because you have to walk up to get to my office like 15 stairs. Or you could take the elevator, but it's a lot easier just to walk up the stairs. And this guy's not that old, late 40s. And at night, I say to him, what are you doing? He's good with food all day. But at night, he lives alone. Beautiful house. Is very clean, neat, immaculate. He's very intelligent. He's got 2 master's degrees, theology degree. This guy's sharp. I said, what are you doing? Well, he says, at night, I order in food. Well, he's ordering in fried chicken, pizzas. And then I said, well, that's really bad. Processed food, high fat, high carbohydrate, pizzas, fried chicken wings. But then he says, well, that I eat ice cream. What is with everyone? Ice cream, cereal, and Those are the two most offending things where people gain weight. I was like, the sugar has got to stop, the white carbs. You're putting on so much weight, it's destroying you. You're gaining so much weight. I'm sure you're leading to high blood pressure. I'm sure this is all in one day in my office. Diabetes, you can't do this. You're destroying yourself. He's like, yes. But you know how many patients I have? Even during this COVID thing, everyone's gaining weight and everyone eats ice cream and cereal with milk or cookies, cakes, and candy. And it's always usually after 8 o'clock at night, between 11 o'clock. The worst time to eat. It's self-destructive. He's ruining his body. He can't really exercise. He's gained so much weight. And then here's the classic. Cigarettes. Do I need to even talk about them? You can't smoke cigarettes. It's just insane. You want to sabotage your well-being. You don't feel good. You feel good, the high from it, but your body slowly breaks down, your lungs. I'm not even going to go into cigarettes because it's so obvious. Don't smoke cigarettes because you feel terrible, you look terrible. Cancer, pulmonary diseases, it zaps you of energy. Here's a big one. People in toxic relationships. If you're in a relationship with anyone, employer, loved one, where all you do is fight and scream and yell at each other and are negative around each other, or someone who encourages you to do bad things like do drugs, overspend money, fight and yell and scream, that's a toxic relationship. Get out of it. These are things and how people sabotage their own lives. Oh, here's a pet peeve of mine, the abuse of Xanax. That's in this office. When I see that, I'm like, oh, another Xanax. Why do people like to ruin their life with Xanax, alprazolam? Most people can use it pretty safely, but there are a few people who just ruin their lives with it. Oh, here's another big one. Noncompliance with meds, like insulin for diabetes, like asthma meds to prevent asthma meds, meds to prevent seizures, meds to prevent blood pressure, meds to prevent high cholesterol, all the psychiatric meds for depression, anxiety, panic, obsessive compulsive disorder. If you're non-compliant with them, that illness will rule your life. So that's how people self-sabotage. Here's another basic one. Everyone out there, you got to exercise every day. I don't care who you are. Do something physical every day. I don't care what you do. Take a walk. Get a life cycle. Go to the gym. Lift weights. Take a class. Do some kind of yoga in your house. Don't tell me I don't have time. Do something. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. It's better than nothing. Do something. Follow some video on YouTube or Google it and do something. Everyone has to exercise every day. A little cardio, a little resistance training, and you can get a video that suits your skill set and the level of fitness you're in. Here's a big one. I'm sympathetic with people. Isolation. It's tough. A key feature here that sabotages happiness is you need to interact with people, you need to have friends, or you need to be interacting with other people. We're in a world this online world where we're being more and more isolated. I sympathize with people, but make an effort. Another big one. This is my patients, how they sabotage happiness. This is the Dr. Agresti list of 13 things that people self-sabotage. Don't spend more money than you have. Live within your means. Another one is try and do work where you don't hate it. Not so easy, but that's another pet peeve. Another thing, always try and be learning something new. It keeps your mind active. Because if you stagnate, you just will become unhappy. Learn something, a new skill. Learn something about a topic. Learn something about how to do something, how to build something. Learn how to do a new technique, something, a language, yoga, anything new you can learn to do. And the last, but these are the 13 things I came up with. The last one would be engage in activities that help someone other than you. All these things I talk about, I do case vignettes in my book and educate the reader on things you can do and ways you can live so you don't sabotage your life and you have a happier life. It's Tales from the Couch on Amazon.com. Thank you. Mark Agresti.